much. Jeff Sica with us on a Monday morning. I would have thought that Putin's problems and what went on in Russia over the weekend would have been a plus for the market. Why not?
Well, I mean, Putin, it's clearly a distraction. But what I think everybody's realizing today is that what transpired is confusing the heck out of everybody, because they're not really thinking, as much as Blinken and the Biden administration might want to take a bow that there's destabilization in Russia, it's premature to do that. There's no real indication that this is actually going to help Ukraine or actually create a situation that could be worse. So the markets can't really embrace this as anything significant.
I was thinking that, look, Putin's military is just not performing well. They're taking a terrible hit with this revolution. At the same time, the Ukrainian forces, they've got new weapons, and they're cock-a-hoop. I mean, these guys have morale on their side.
Right.
Can't they push forward and win?
Well, here's the problem. When you have a desperate Putin and a desperate Russia with nuclear capabilities, as much as they're losing, they're in a position of desperation. Plus, you have the Chinese on the sideline that could intervene, which creates a whole other scenario. So I think there's a lot of uncertainty, and as long as there's uncertainty, this isn't going to move the markets one way or another.
You know, Jeff, we're famous on this program for changing the subject dramatically, just like that. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. We're going to. You're a movie producer,
yes,
or you have been in your life. I want to talk to you about Harry and Meghan. What can you do for them? Netflix says they have to produce content, quote, of real interest if they want the remaining $50 million in their contract. What do you say to that?
Being on the set with two Brits and being able to talk about this is a true treat for me. But what I will say is, when you have Netflix, one of the most woke companies in the world, telling these people essentially, you're too woke for people to care about, you know that these narcissistic halfwits have taken their fame to an extent that nobody cares. And let me just give you an example of some of the content they're trying to put out to get they've already gotten like $40-50 million for nothing. And they're waiting for another $40-50 million. One of the things they want to do is, Netflix had this great show, which I loved, called Emily in Paris. Their great idea is to take that show and make it with a man. That's as good of an idea as they can get. So when here you're put in a position to be paid $100 million to create content, and the only thing you could do is take some half-witted variation of a hit show and some other documentaries, I don't know where they're going. So this is Netflix's way of sending them out to the street.
So tell me, Ashley.
Get him a glass of water or something.
How do you feel about a guy from New Jersey calling formerly royal folks
Jeff is
dimwit and halfwits?
Look, he's absolutely right. I think we found out that. I think Harry and Meghan, we found out, are not really very interesting.
That's true.
Not even in Hollywood.
Not even in Hollywood. And the fact that they complain about lack of privacy while inviting all the cameras in, I think people just said, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. And they've been found out. Now they're going to have to start really paying the bills.
Reportedly, Meghan hand-wrote Taylor Swift a letter to go on her podcast.
Ugh.
I believe it went unanswered.
It went on. Well, a representative got back to her, not Taylor Swift.
A for effort.
Yeah.
Well, and also that when you create content, you want to grab an audience. And they did grab the audience with the original documentary, but I think a lot of us have an admiration for the royal family. So from them, nobody feels sorry for them, and that's what they keep trying to do.
Yes. Nobody feels sorry.
All right, Jeff, a fine opening for a Monday morning. We appreciate it. Thanks so much, Mr. Sica.